Hello, I'm Enzo, and today I'll be playing more Oxygen Non-Fluid Spaced Out. We're focusing on clearing out the second planetoid today, and I've been using conveyor loaders and auto sweepers because they are way faster than duplicants. Speaking of duplicants, ranching, suit-wearing, quick learner, night owl, but can't dig? Sure, I'm going with A gear because of the white hair. Oh, and we also got 20 duplicants, so that's pretty cool. The strategy for the auto sweeper and conveyor loader is pretty much make them out of steel, disable auto repair, wait till they overheat, wait until they break them, and then rebuild them. And yeah, pretty much keep looping that until everything has been cleared off the floor. It's amazing though, it is way faster than the rest of my duplicants, and it lets them do other stuff around the planetoid. In the meantime, I'm working on the oil well setup. Pretty much the oil wells have to be submerged in oil the whole time, or sometimes when you depressurize them, the water will actually boil into steam because it's too hot in there. So this usually ensures that your water will stay as water. The only slight annoyance in our path, however, is the fact that we need more power, so we need a bigger wire. Also, this pipe setup should give you a pretty good idea of what this is supposed to be. We're collecting a bunch of oil next to lava. Every oil well outputs 3,333 oil a second. So, 3 of those make 10 kilograms, approximately. And that's the whole basis for this. I'm gonna split each line up and have a valve limiting how much can go in so that it only takes 3,333 from each line. And, it doesn't take too much from one or another. That's the plan, at least. One of the most satisfying things in this game is seeing all the gas slowly disappear once it gets low enough. It's just such a cool, satisfying effect, seeing a vacuum slowly form. And then there's the fun of making all the pipes and liquid reservoirs needed to store all the petroleum. I don't even know how. Shimakaze had plenty of opportunity to get out before this happened, but alright, I guess. So, although it was designed to be a good petroleum boiler, it didn't exactly turn out that way, because I didn't really test it. The only issue with this is that I made the counterflow way too long. I realize now why counterflows are so short. It doesn't mean they're going to be more efficient. It's actually the opposite. It kind of breaks the whole thing at a certain point. But before we set it up, this thing is pretty power hungry, so I installed some solar panels to help with that. I also put way too much oil in the reservoir at first, so a little bit spilled out. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But anyways, my point. Counterflow doesn't have to be this long. I should have made it way shorter. I should have input the oil from way higher up. And yeah, it was kind of a mess to operate. But it did get us a decent amount of petroleum in the end, so I guess it did serve its purpose, just not as well as I had hoped. It's pretty much impossible to resist suit-wearing, building, and decor morale bonus. And light blue hair, which is close enough, so St. Louis. I only discovered the issues with this petroleum boiler design after a while of using it, but at least the startup was really promising, and it worked really well, for a little bit. You'll see. Plus, you have to admit, it just looks cool. I need the petroleum so I can get plastic so I can get databanks for interstellar research. I don't really need power right now, I just need plastic. My plan is to get the plastic out of the steam room as soon as possible so it doesn't melt into naphtha. But I shouldn't have to repeat myself the millionth time. You can see the first problem. Once one pipe breaks, every other pipe breaks because no liquid is moving. Yeah, this happens a few times. So I decided to keep going. I repaired the pipe that broke, and I also placed a tile where I forgot one. I should have just left it though, because less counterflow is technically better. The pipes kept breaking. So my next plan is add more insulated pipes and hope it just fixes it. Spoiler alert, it does not. I also spent a long amount of time, more than I'd like to admit, making a massive gas pipe that goes all throughout my base that takes all the gas I want to vent out into space. It's also insulated because the plastic press's carbon dioxide is pretty toasty. I also never insulated this pipeline for some reason. The petroleum that comes out is very hot sometimes. Don't know why I didn't. Pay very close attention to the plastic presses once they start up. You might notice something kind of cool. So plastic presses, in their animation, they squeeze out, the white plastic. Well, if you look at some of them, they don't squeeze out the white plastic, and you'll see black dripping around it. You can probably tell what's happening. It's a little bit too toasty in some spots, and pretty much what that means is that the plastic can't get out and is being turned into naphtha instantly, which is a bad thing sometimes. I think I have a use for it. Naphtha has very rare but very useful specific applications late game, so handy to have. The only real issue with the oil project on the second planetoid is the fact our only water source is the saltwater geyser. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess we could import water from other planetoids, potentially even the water planetoid, but for now, this is all we have. Also, if I remember correctly, every single oil well takes 1 kilogram a second. If that's only 2.5 on average in total, well, yeah, we're gonna have to find another water source. You can see the second that the plastic is made, it instantly melts into naphtha. Update: petroleum boiler broke again. I'm also building a heat deletion setup so that I can cool the desalinators. Desalinators get pretty toasty, which means the hotter they get, the hotter the water they output is. So we don't really want that. The last fix for the petroleum boiler for now is just making all the oil go above that top layer instead of through it, and it worked. Since I have enough plastic and petroleum, I deactivated it. The issue is there was no relatively cold crude oil counterflowing, which means only hot petroleum got to the bottom and overheated the pump. So yeah, sucks to start up, sucks to deactivate. The only thing that's really unfortunate about both desalinators and oil wells is the fact that they have to be manually used. Well, the desalinators have to be cleaned out of salt and the oil wells have to be depressurized. It's just annoying that you need duplicates to do it, and they can't be automated. After all, no automation, no life. Meanwhile, on the main planetoid, I've been cleaning up old systems, destroying stuff, and clearing new space. I have to deal with the 3 tons of steam in the steam boiler. Yeah, it's been there the whole time. So I'm going to use the anti-entropy thermo nullifier to hopefully deal with some of the heat of this 400 degree steam. 3 tons of 400 degree steam. What could go wrong? I wasn't lying about it being 3 tons either. Oh yeah, so in this footage, back when I recorded it, there was a bug where duplicants wouldn't equip their Atmo suits. This was really annoying. They patched it after a while, but still annoying to play with. Because, the duplicants didn't get in their Atmo suits and would get scalded when they tried to go into the steam room. Any steam room. Fun fact, the quickest way to get stuff out of a rocket is to actually demolish the capsule where the duplicants are. Now, I rarely do this, especially because I'm scared that it might crash my game. I don't think it will anymore, but a while ago, like early and spaced out, it did happen. But anyways, it's an amazing way to get all the stuff into one tile, without too much effort. My plan was to redesign the rocket so I can do research. Like I said earlier, I needed a petroleum boiler so I could get petroleum, so I could make plastic, so finally I could make databanks to get interstellar research, so I can finish the rest of my research tree. That was the entire plan of the past few episodes. I'm so glad to see it almost complete. It will be complete in the next episode once we do a lot more research. For now, that's going to be the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, maybe even subscribing. This is going to be Enzo from LookIntoGaming, signing out.